Okay, here's the thing. I nearly gave up on this book. I nearly gave up on this video because I messed up and I got frustrated, but then I put on this lipstick, which is actually lip pencil or an eye pencil, I don't know. And I was like, oh my god, I look so cute. And then I put on this outfit, and then I was like, okay, auntie. So yeah, this is a pretty much a half of a makeup video that I didn't finish, then I came back now. So here you go. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vera. Before I get into this video, a couple things I want to address. The sound and lighting might be off. I'm working with it, like, I'm sorry. My microphone is in my ear right now, which might make doing makeup a little difficult, but we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get through this together. So I'm gonna probably title this video my first time doing makeup, but it's technically not my first time. So like a year ago, I'm just gonna get into it. This is not a tutorial. Please don't like be looking for somebody to tell you how to do makeup, because I barely know how to do makeup myself. I just be like, I'm winging it. I'm learning as I go. But okay, so this isn't really my first time doing makeup. This is probably gonna be my first time doing makeup with like everything I think I really need to be comfortable doing a full face of makeup. For those of you that don't know me, which is none of you because I get like 2 views on each video. A couple years ago, I attempted to walk across the country. Went on a little journey, shall we say. And before that trip, I pretty much got rid of everything I own, which included my makeup. So since then, I've been slowly getting my makeup back together, and not until recently, and by recently I mean within the last couple weeks, I feel like I have like everything I need to do a full face, which is nice. So this is probably the first time I'm doing my makeup without, you know, not having some of the most necessary things that I need to do a full face, which is nice. It's a nice feeling to be able to like just, you know, get your face together. I feel like I'm too far away. Am I too far away? Is that better? Do I look scarier? If I'm scarier, that means it's better. Okay, and this white tank top is going to be fully dirty by the time I finish because I mix everything on the back of my hand. So back to what I was saying. I'm just now getting to a place where I feel like I have all the things that I would need to do a full face. And it's so nice because I really, really, really enjoy makeup in the process of doing makeup and mixing colors, and it's all a good time to me. So I'm really happy about that. When I first thought about doing this video, I was gonna do like I was gonna do it unedited and like show how long it actually takes to put on makeup, but I really thought about it. When it comes to me, it takes a lot longer because I like to let things dry down and set in between, and that's just too much for a video. And I do a lot of mixing because Lord knows for a black girl to get a color that actually just works and not have to mix everything. I have to mix everything. So yeah, that makes the process even longer. So I know nobody wants to watch my 8-minute video. I know nobody's gonna watch my freaking 3-hour videos. So I thought I would do this by doing makeup and give you guys a couple story times. Let's talk about the time I rented somebody's hammock on Airbnb, like a hammock in their backyard. Somebody was renting a hammock on Airbnb, like for real, in real life. So if you guys, or any of you, the two of you, watched my story on the nurse stealing my wallet from Beth Israel hospital, this is like right after I got out of that hospital. And to be honest, they didn't want to let me out because I didn't really have anywhere to go, but I lied and I said I had somewhere to go because I wanted to leave. And I got out, and I had a little money, but I didn't have a lot of money. And it was the 4th of July weekend in New York City. So either the Airbnb was booked or it was like super expensive. And I couldn't find anything. Like back in those days, I don't know how much, well, I do know because I was just in New York City. Back in those days, you can rent a room for like $30, $40 in somebody's Airbnb. I was just there, and now it's like $60, which is fine. But at that time, I didn't have any money really. Like I barely had any money, and I needed somewhere to stay. So I'm scrolling down Airbnb, scrolling. I see a hammock for $15 a night in somebody's backyard. And at first I'm like, what? But my options were to sleep on the street. Like I really, when I say I had nowhere to go, and at that point, like I was dealing with some mental health issues, which I've spoken about before, and I'm still dealing with it, just like everybody else. I feel like right now everybody is like honest about their mental health issues, and especially having a year to like really think about things. Like we all have mental health issues, so mines were extreme. So that was my only option. And this was years ago, so if it's taking me a while to like think of the details of the story, sorry, I didn't prepare anything. I just felt like doing my makeup and I decided to record it. I feel like this is given very red, but I don't know, it looks different in the mirror. It looks different, but we shall see. So where was I? So I booked the place. Mind you, I was in the city. This place was located in Yonkers. It was a very, very, very long ride, and it was the first time I ever went to Yonkers. And Yonkers is very hilly. It was a long ride to get there. Like the first time I got there, it was too late at night to like try to figure out the Yonkers bus system. So I think I caught an Uber to the place no, I didn't. I did catch the bus the first night. I remember because I kind of got lost and the guy had to walk down the street to find me. All right, so I finally get here. Now, mind you, it's the 4th of July and it was hot and muggy and nasty outside. I don't really remember how it led to this, but the first night I realized it was like his yard was like full of trees. It was in Yonkers, so it was like actual nature out there, and it was so many mosquitoes. And I don't know if it's my blood type or not, but mosquitoes really love me. Like they will find a way into my skin to get my blood. Like mosquitoes really love me, so it was unbearable. So oh boy let me sleep on the floor inside his house. I get in this house. This dude has like a normal American 3-bedroom house, 1 bathroom. I believe it was 1 bathroom. This dude had all the bedrooms were being rented. He had 3 full-size beds in the living room, back to back, with no space in between, and he was renting all of those out. And then when the other people that were renting these beds that were all like, there was no space to walk really in the living room. the whole living room, the whole living area was just full of beds. So when the people that were renting the beds or renting the room or whatever, they come in the house, you're gonna see these beds. They see me like laying on the dining room floor, and they're like, "Dang, he's renting the floor now." Like, what is he gonna do next? Rent the stairs? Like, they were clearly bugging. Like, what the fuck? This dude is renting the floor now, not thinking that. I don't even know if they knew that he was actually before this renting the hammock outside. He was renting this hammock. So I stayed there for a couple nights, maybe 3 nights. And this dude, the whole story, I mean, it's crazy enough that I rented a hammock in somebody's yard, but the dude is the real character of the story, because oh boy, was just out of pocket. He would say the craziest things. So I don't know if it was the first night I was there, but during this time, I don't know if I was doing comedy shows. Like, I used to sell comedy tickets in Times Square. I don't know if I was doing that or what I was doing, but or maybe it was the fact that I just got out of the hospital and needed to do my hair. So I was doing my hair, and my hair naturally, and especially at that time, is really curly, really, like, it gets long and thick. Like, I have nice hair, and it was really long, and it was a lot to manage, and I guess, like, my hair hadn't been done in a while, so I was, like, doing my hair like a twist out or something. And he was already looking at me like I'm crazy, because he's clearly never, like, seen a black girl doing her natural hair. And he started making comments about my hair and how I was, like, because I was sitting outside, like, twisted out or whatever. We were probably having a beer on his back porch. And he, like, you could tell when somebody's, like, looking at you and they want to say something. And he kept looking at me, and I don't remember how this conversation happened, but I ended up saying, yeah, like, my hair is just, like, really hard to deal with. It's a lot of work. Like, being a black girl is hard to deal with. This dude got so offended because I said because I said black women's or black people's hair is hard to manage. This dude yelled. It's like, all people's hair is hard to deal with. Now, this is before the whole Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter. So, you know, people are just, like, feeling like that. Like, you can't say anything about being black or the dude. I've never in my life just showered and dried my hair off in a towel and went about my day. Like, my hair, I always have to do something. So you can't say the same thing. I don't know. People are crazy. Okay, so I realized I forgot to color correct, and I wanted to, but it's not the end of the world, because my color corrector isn't really my right color anyway. So that's one more thing I have to get. So back to the story. All right, this guy was, let's just call him interesting. He wasn't a mean person. He was nice. He did go take me to get Chinese takeout one night, but he just did weird stuff. Like, first of all, the hair thing. And there was another black girl that was staying in one of the living room beds. I know I said I wasn't gonna give tips, but I let my concealer dry almost down, which really depends on the kind of concealer you have, because if you have one of those that, like, don't budge after it dries down, you messed up, even if you do have, like, a setting or a refresher spray. And I did this before by accident, which was put a little bit, which I ended up putting a lot on that side. Blush around my concealer to make your blush just look like it's like lived in, like skin. And I put more blush on after, but I put way too much on this side. Whoopsie. Okay, so this guy, there's another black girl that was staying on the bed. She had booked for like 3 months because she was from another state and she was going to school or modeling or I think she was acting. She was on Broadway / she worked at CVS. I remember that because I thought it was, I don't know, I thought it was funny. I have a slight obsession with CVS. But yeah, when I got there, she had already been there a few weeks and she pulled me aside. She had a car, so we took a couple of rides and she was just like, yeah, isn't that guy weird? Like, doesn't he say weird things? And I'm like, yes, he does say weird things all the time, actually. It's a little neurotic. And she was like, yeah, he kept calling me for a while, like, I forget, like, but some stereotypical black name that nobody ever really has, like Shakisha or whatever. He kept calling her that, and she had a simple name, like saying her name was Mary, and he kept calling her Shakisha. She was like, yeah, he kept doing that, and then he got really offended, and then he asked another person that's staying in the place, or he like tried to confide in the person was like, yeah, that's fucked up, like that's not her name, don't call somebody something that's not their name. And then he apologized. And that's who goes around to call it, like, what if I just, every white man I saw, I was just like, hey Bob, like that's so messed up. Like, who does that? And another thing, there's a young man that was staying there that he was actually really young, like 20, probably 21 or so. And he was going to school. He was going to a really good school. He was a really intelligent young man, and he had a car. He was from out of state, staying there, and apparently he booked one of the beds, but the guy gave him a room and didn't explain it. It was just like, here, you can have it. And apparently, like, he was like into this very young man. And the young man, like, I don't know if it was a day that I told you he took me to get the Chinese takeout. The young man confided in me, I think either we were in the car waiting for the takeout, or I think we were just at the dinner table eating, and he was like, yeah, I think he's like really nice to me. It's like, I know how nice he is. I'm not gonna say anything because I have a really big room now, but he's really nice to me. He gets a little angry sometimes. Like, he will be really hyper vigilant about the bathroom and how we treated it and not putting hair in the shower. And I tried to explain to him, I was like, yeah, I have a lot of hair, but first of all, I don't wash it every day, and it was in a protective style, so I'm not, if there's hair in the shower, it's definitely not mine. You would be able to tell if it was mine. And he every day is like, you clean out the shower, you clean it out the bathroom sink, and I'm like, dude, I'm nearly hairless everywhere except my head, and my head has twists in it, so it's not me, sir. Every day, like, there's my hair in the shower. I'm like, dude, you need to relax. You need to get out of these hills. The the elevation is really hurting you, bruh. I seem to have forgotten how to do makeup because I don't know what the next step is. What am I supposed to do? This came out really nice. buffer brush. Cause this ain't buffing shit. I know I'm looking like the friendly ghost right now, but this is the part the girls in the business call trusting the process. You know what I'm talking about? Some of that Coco Naughty by Fenty. This is the first bronzer I've ever used. I've never used a bronzer before because it was always ashy. And this looks so nice on me. That Jackie Aina nose contour, game changer. It's something about this part right here, deepening this part from your eyes.